Be me. Feminist 22, living at home with my parents and older brother, trying to save up enough to get my own place, the usual struggle. My life isn't that exciting. Work a standard office job, hang out with a couple of close friends, and spend way too much of my free time rotting my brain on TikTok. So this was a few months back. I can't remember the exact day, maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday night, one of those boring, empty evenings where you've already done your laundry and there's nothing good on TV. I'm just lying in my bed, scrolling through my For You page. The algorithm has me completely figured out. It's an endless stream of skincare routines, clips from old TV shows, and girls my age complaining about their dating lives. It's mindless, but it's comfortable. Then I stop on a video. It's shot from a low angle, like the phone is propped up against a wall. The quality isn't great, a bit shaky. There's this girl, probably about my age, trying to wrestle a massive flat-pack IKEA box through the main door of an apartment building. She's clearly struggling. The thing is awkward and heavy, and she can barely get a grip on it. The music starts playing. You know the one. That super sad, slow piano piece that's in every video trying to make you feel something. As she's fumbling with the box, two guys walk into the frame. They're chatting, laughing about something. They see her, give her a quick glance, the kind of look that sees but doesn't register, and then just walk right past her into the building. They don't even break their stride. The video slows down as they disappear, focusing on the girl's exhausted, frustrated face. Text appears on the screen. Men in 2025, thanks for the help. I felt this immediate pang of recognition. A hot little knot of frustration tightened in my stomach. I hit the like button so hard, I almost cracked the screen. I scrolled down to the comments, and it was a war zone of agreement. Hundreds, maybe thousands of comments from other women. This is literally my life. Chivalry is 100% dead. They expect us to be strong and independent until it's time to do something they don't want to. I asked a guy for help with my suitcase at the train station, and he pretended he didn't hear me. Reading them, I felt this strange sense of validation. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just in my head. This was a real thing, a silent epidemic of male indifference. I felt like I was part of a huge, invisible community of women who were all experiencing the same thing. The algorithm, sensing my engagement, immediately fed me another one. This time, it's a woman standing next to her car in what looks like a Walmart parking lot. The hood is up. She's looking at the engine with this completely lost expression on her face. She looks around, clearly trying to make eye contact with someone, anyone. The video is sped up slightly, showing several men walking past. They get into their own cars, which are parked nearby, and just drive off. Not a single person stops. The sad piano music was back, of course. The caption, "Waited for 30 minutes. Not a single offer of help. I guess this is the equality we wanted." Another instant, like from me. The frustration was building into real anger now. It was like watching a nature documentary where one half of the species had just decided to stop participating in the ecosystem. Then came the third video, the one that really pushed me over the edge. It was one of the most popular sounds on the app at the time. A girl is trying to get into a coffee shop. She's got a massive bouquet of flowers in one arm and two big, clumsy shopping bags in the other. She's trying to pull open this big, heavy glass door, but she can't get the leverage. You can see a guy walking up behind her. He's right there. It would be the most natural thing in the world for him to just reach out and hold the door for a second. But he doesn't. Instead, he does this weird, slick little maneuver. He waits for her to pull it open just enough, and then he kind of sidles past her through the gap she's made and lets the door swing shut right behind him. It almost hits her. She just stands there for a second, looking at the closed door in disbelief. The caption was simple and brutal. It's official. The knights are all dead. I watched it 3 times. The casual, unthinking selfishness of it was just staggering. I felt my face flush with anger. I shared it to my private story with a caption of my own. This, all of this. A few of my friends immediately replied with fire emojis and OMG, so true. We were all on the same page. It felt good, in a weird way, like we were all united against this wave of apathy. It wasn't about wanting a man to solve our problems. It was about basic human decency, about seeing someone struggling and offering a hand, and it felt like that entire concept had just evaporated from the male consciousness. I was still stewing in this righteous anger when my older brother, Kevin, came into the living room later that evening. Kevin is 24. He's a pretty quiet guy, works in IT or something. He's very logical, very black and white. We get along fine, but we see the world in completely different ways. He thinks I'm too emotional, and I think he's a robot. He must have seen the look on my face because he asked what was wrong. This was my chance. I wanted to show him. I wanted a male perspective, and I was secretly hoping he'd be just as outraged as I was. Maybe he could explain it to me. "You have to see this," I said, my voice tight. "It's actually unbelievable." I sat him down on the couch and showed him the 3 videos, one after the other. The IKEA box, the broken-down car, the coffee shop door. I presented them like evidence in a courtroom, Exhibit A, B, and C, in the case against the modern man. I watched his face the whole time, waiting for a reaction, a frown, a shake of the head, anything, nothing. He watched all 3 clips with a completely neutral expression. His face was a blank slate. When the last video finished, he just handed my phone back to me. He took a sip from his mug of tea. He shrugged. "So?" he said. I stared at him. "So? Kevin, did you not just see that? It's awful. Men have become completely useless, selfish jerks." He looked at me, not with anger or defensiveness, but with something that looked more like mild curiosity, like I was a strange bug he was examining. Then he said the words that made my brain short-circuit. "What did you expect? It's all perfectly logical." I think I actually sputtered. "Logical? Logical? There is nothing logical about being a rude, unhelpful person. It's common courtesy. It's basic human decency. What is wrong with you?" I was on my feet now, pacing in front of the couch. My voice was getting louder. "Since when is it logical to watch someone struggle and just walk away? Our dad would never do that. Grandpa would be horrified. What happened to an entire generation of men?" I was expecting him to argue, to get defensive, to say, "Not all men," or make some excuse. That's what guys online always did. But Kevin didn't do any of that. He just sat there, watching me pace, with this tired, resigned look on his face. He wasn't angry. He just looked weary, like he had seen this movie before and already knew how it ended. He let me finish my rant. He let all the angry energy fill the room until it just kind of fizzled out. I was left standing there, breathing heavily, feeling a little foolish. He took another slow sip of his tea, then placed the mug deliberately on the coffee table. He looked up at me. His voice was quiet, completely devoid of any emotion. "Are you done?" I just nodded, not trusting myself to speak. "Okay," he said, and then he let out this long, heavy sigh. It wasn't an annoyed sigh. It was a sigh that sounded like it came from the bottom of his feet, carrying the weight of 1,000 unspoken frustrations. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his own phone. "All right," he said, unlocking the screen. His whole demeanor had changed. He wasn't my detached, robotic brother anymore. He looked serious. He looked like a teacher about to explain a very complex and unpleasant subject. "You want to see why it's logical? You really want to know?" He patted the cushion next to him. "Sit down. Let me show you the other side of the story." I sat down, my anger now mixed with a heavy dose of curiosity. I was still convinced he was wrong, but the way he said it so calm and certain, threw me off. He didn't have to search for long. He just opened his TikTok. It was like he knew exactly what he was looking for, or maybe this stuff was just as common on his feed as the complaint videos were on mine. "All right, look at this," he said, turning the phone towards me. The video was a duet. On the left side was the video of the girl with the coffee shop door, the one that had made me so mad. On the right was a new video. It was CCTV footage, black and white, time-stamped in the corner. In the CCTV video, a guy holds the door open for a girl walking behind him. A perfectly normal, polite interaction. She walks through. But then, instead of just continuing on, she stops. She turns around and confronts him. There is no audio, but you can read the body language perfectly. She's angry, jabbing a finger in his direction. He holds his hands up in a placating gesture, looking completely bewildered. He seems to be trying to explain something, but she's not having it. She says one last thing and storms off. Then, text appeared over the CCTV footage. It was from the guy who posted it. All I did was hold the door. She accused me of checking her out and told me she didn't need a man to do things for her. So you know what? Fine, I won't. I stared at the screen. My first instinct was to dismiss it. Okay, so, one girl was a jerk, I said. That doesn't mean anything. Kevin didn't even respond. He just swiped to the next video. This one was filmed from a guy's point of view, like he was wearing a body cam. He's walking down a street and sees a woman ahead of him struggling with 2 grocery bags that look like they're about to rip open. You hear his voice, perfectly polite. "Excuse me, miss. Do you need a hand with those? They look heavy." The woman turns around. She looks him up and down with this expression of pure suspicion, like he's a cockroach that just offered to help with her taxes. Her voice was sharp and dripping with sarcasm. "What? I look like I can't carry my own groceries? Is this your new way of hitting on people?" "No thanks, I'm good." The camera's perspective dips down as the guy looks at the ground. You hear him say a quiet, "Oh, sorry." And then he turns and walks away. The video ends. The caption, "My mistake. Won't happen again." I was starting to feel a little uncomfortable. It was like looking at a familiar painting from a different angle and suddenly seeing something you'd never noticed before. "That's really rude of her," I admitted. "But those are just 2 videos. It's probably just for clicks." "Is it?" Kevin asked, his voice still flat. He swiped again. This was the one that made my stomach drop. It was another duet. On top was the original video I'd seen, the girl struggling with the giant IKEA box. On the bottom half of the screen was a guy. He was reacting to the video, but it was more like a sketch. He was acting out what would happen if he did intervene. The video starts. The guy on the bottom screen walks up to the girl with the box. He mimes saying, "Do you need some help with that?" The girl in the top video continues to struggle. Then, the guy in the sketch pretends to take one side of the box. He mimes lifting it with her. But as soon as he does, the actress playing the girl in his sketch, you can tell it's staged, but that's the point, whips out her phone and starts filming him, her voice suddenly high-pitched and panicked. "Who are you? Why are you touching my stuff? Get away from me! I'm calling the police! Harassment!" The guy in the sketch immediately drops the imaginary box and backs away with his hands up, a look of pure horror on his face. The sketch ends with text on the screen. "And this is why we don't help." The video had millions of likes, far more than the original video it was mocking. I just sat there in silence. The 3 videos played in my head like a counter-argument to everything I had felt just 30 minutes earlier. The coffee shop, the groceries, the IKEA box. Each of my examples had a dark mirror image. "It's just rage bait," I finally managed to say, but my voice lacked conviction. People make fake videos like that all the time. Kevin finally put his phone down. He looked at me and for the first time, I saw a flicker of the frustration I'd been feeling, but from his side. No, Doris, it's not just a few videos. It's a trend. It's thousands of videos. For every one video you see of a girl complaining that a guy didn't help her, I see 10 videos from guys showing why they've stopped trying. He leaned forward, his elbows on his knees. You see one side of the coin. You see a girl struggling and a man walking by, and you think, selfish jerk. You feel that sisterhood, that shared frustration. We see the other side. We see a potential minefield. His voice was getting more intense now, but it still wasn't angry. It was explanatory. For you, making a video about not getting help is a way to get sympathy and validation. For a guy, getting involved can be a career-ending, life-destroying risk. Any offer of help can be twisted into, he was hitting on me. Any accidental touch can become, he grabbed me. Any glance can be, he was leering at me. He gestured back at his phone. For years, the most popular content online, made by women, was about mocking creepy guys at the gym, shaming men for mansplaining when they offered advice, and laughing at cringe attempts to start a conversation. And you know what? The message was received, loud and clear. We learned. We adapted. We were taught that unsolicited interaction is dangerous. He sank back into the couch, the energy draining out of him again. So understand, he said, his voice now quiet again. We didn't just become unfeeling. We became cautious. In a world where anything you do can be filmed, taken out of context, and posted online to a jury of millions before you even know what's happening, the safest option is to do nothing, to keep your head down, mind your own business, and walk away. He looked at me directly, his eyes serious. Walking past that girl with the box isn't selfishness, Doris. It's self-preservation. I couldn't think of a single thing to say. My entire narrative, the simple story of good women and bad men that had felt so clear and righteous, was crumbling. The righteous anger I had felt was gone, replaced by a cold, hollow feeling in my chest. He wasn't finished. Think about the risks, just logically. I go to help a girl with a heavy box. We're carrying it, and she scrapes her arm on the doorframe. Whose fault is it? Mine. I'm the man who was there. I offer to help a woman with her car, and later on, she claims I broke something or stole something from under the hood. How do I prove I didn't? I hold a door and I'm a creep. The potential cost of helping is astronomically high, and the reward is, what? A thank you, if you're lucky? More often than not, it's suspicion. The silence in the room was heavy. All the noise from the TikToks, all the angry comments, all my own indignation, it all just faded away, leaving only his words hanging in the air. I thought about my own behavior. I remembered times I had been with my friends, laughing at some guy who tried to talk to us at a bar and failed. I remembered rolling my eyes at a man who tried to give me advice I didn't ask for. I never thought of it as malicious. It was just what we did. We never considered the cumulative effect. We never thought about what it was like on the other side. The question escaped my lips before I even realized I was asking it. It was quiet, almost a whisper. So, what are we supposed to do now? Kevin looked at me, and his expression wasn't triumphant or smug. There was no, I told you so, in his eyes. There was just a deep, profound sadness. Nothing, he said. There's nothing to do. You wanted to be strong and independent. You proved you could do everything yourselves, and you got it. We respect your choice. He stood up to take his empty mug to the kitchen. He paused at the door. But independence has a price. The price is you do it all yourselves, for real. You can't demand the privileges of the old world while living by the rules of the new one. The two systems can't exist at the same time. And then he left, leaving me alone on the couch in the quiet living room. I sat there for a long time. I didn't move. I just replayed the conversation, the videos, everything, over and over in my mind. It felt like a fundamental piece of my worldview had been shattered, and I was looking at the jagged pieces, not sure how they ever fit together in the first place. Eventually, almost out of habit, I picked up my phone again. I opened TikTok. It was like the app was testing me. The very first video on my feed was another one. A girl was standing in the rain, looking helplessly at a flat tire on her car. The cars on the road next to her just splashed through the puddles, driving past without stopping. The same sad piano music started to play. The captions started to fade in. Not a single person stopped. A few months ago, even an hour ago, my thumb would have instinctively slammed down on the like button. I would have felt that familiar surge of anger and solidarity. But I didn't. I just looked at it. I didn't see a victim and a parade of villains anymore. I saw a girl who was paying a price she didn't know she had agreed to, and I saw drivers who were making a cold, logical calculation of risk versus reward. I saw two groups of people, separated by a wall of mistrust that we had all, brick by brick, helped to build. For the first time, the video didn't make me feel angry. It just made me feel tired. I didn't like it. I didn't comment. I just swiped up, and it was gone. And I felt like I had been lied to my whole life. Not by men, but by the very ideas I thought were empowering me.